Welcome to Inside the Soundwave Internet TV show, live from the beaches of Indian, Florida, where all of your local musicians get to tell their music story, from the beginning to the present. And now, here's your host, Mr. Soundwave.
Hey, we're on.
All right, we're on. Thank you. Good evening to Inside the Soundwave. Show number 39, Indian, Florida.
39.
Show number 39.
Yeah,
I took a week off last week. We had a break. First time since Christmas. And we got a special guest here tonight. We have the bassist and one of the great musicians here in Brevard County, Joe Mazza. Joe.
Good to have you.
Yeah, man, glad to have you on the show. Joe is from the band Rock Candy, and they're one of my favorites, probably the top band that I like in Brevard County. We'll be going tomorrow night to Lou's Blues to see you guys.
That's where we'll be. We'll be at Lou's Blues tomorrow night.
That one, and it's so convenient for me to be right over here on the beach.
Across the street.
Makes it real easy. So we're going to be coming by tomorrow night to see you. But Joe's on the show tonight. He's going to tell you all about his music journey. From when he picked up a bass, or maybe it was a cello or an accordion, because I've even had people on that have picked up an accordion and started to play when they were a little kid.
Yeah.
So, tonight.
Mine was a kazoo, by the way.
Kazoo. Yeah. Now I remember those.
Yeah.
I probably still got one of them somewhere. We're going to start off tonight, right now, with Joe Mazza, and he's going to tell us, what did you pick up first as an instrument?
Well, the thing that I remember I picked up first was a drum. It was the drums. It was my first instrument, and my mother got it for me. I'll never forget this. And I got it like the first day. And my brothers are all older than me, and so they all had their guitars, and my older brother had his saxophone, and I just wanted to fit in. You know, I wanted to be part of the massive, musical family.
All them instruments.
Yeah. So I got my first drum and banged so hard I put a hole in it, and that was the end of my drum career.
Oh, well, it wasn't one of them drums like I had too, the paper head.
Yeah, put it right through, man. Mama, she's like, I don't know, man. She's like, you're gonna have to give him something else. So it was a long time after that before I got another instrument. But as I got older, I think I was probably 14 or 15, and my brothers were accomplished musicians. They were playing out local, I'm from New York.
New York.
So I'm from New York City. So they were
the
playing.
City, though. New York City.
And then we moved out to Long Island, where there was a lot of big bands and big shows out there. Bands like Zebra and the Good Rats, and they were really, really popular over there. And man, they were just really good. My brothers were so good. I can never measure up. But every night I'd be sitting on the stairs, listening to them. And it was so funny because each week there would be like a new bass player. And it was funny because they would leave their bass there for a week,
Yep.
Well, I'd go downstairs, creep downstairs, and get on the bass and play. So one day, my brother Michael caught me. He goes, "What are you doing, man?" I said, I got really scared, I'm like, "Well, I'll just play." He goes, "Do you want to learn how to play that?" I'm like, "I don't know, man." He goes, "Go for it," So he gave me my first lesson, my first lessons and stuff, and showed me how to get around the board and stuff. Well, I would be home every night, coming home from school in my room, just jamming, learning for 5-6 hours, just playing. And then I'd be learning their songs. So as they were going through all these bass players and nobody was working out and so forth and so on, I was learning all their parts. So one night I'm sitting on the steps and my older brother Freddie comes upstairs. He goes, "You been up here all the time?" I said, "Yeah, I've been sitting up here for months, dude." I'm like a church mouse, And before you know it, he says, "Well, why don't you come down and play a song, man?" Now, mind you, I'm only 5'4", so every bass I play is like 9. But at that time, I was probably less than $1, So little skinny little fingers, I was this little rally guy, a little mousy kind of guy, and I got on that bass, man. We played these songs, and I was ripping them, And my brothers looked at me like, "Whoa, we got ourselves a new bass player." So for a little while,
that is great.
For a little while, there was the Mazza brothers, and we played a lot of shows. I got into clubs at 16 years old. The owners got me in, stuffed me through the back, and couldn't drink, but.
Your brothers are a couple years older than you are?
Yeah, quite a bit. They were like They were like 5 to 6 years older than me. They were,
wow.
So.
Boy, that must have been amazing to be with two brothers.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was an amazing experience
so
because
cool.
we come from a music family, 4 generations of music. My grandfather played with Benny Goodman, and actually he was his clarinet. He wrote all the clarinet sections. In fact, he wrote a lot of Benny Goodman solos, but a lot of Benny Goodman stole some of my grandfather's solos, so he was a clarinet player himself. And then my uncle Tony was a great sax player back in the 50s and the 60s, and he actually wrote the song Barbara Ann, which is an interesting story because he wrote the song Barbara Ann after his sister Barbara. And then back then the band was called the Regions, and the Beach Boys loved the song so much that they forced themselves to take that song. You know, they bought it off them. You know, for like pennies. You know, and they got robbed. You know,
Yep.
so and my grandfather, they were too poor. He was too poor to own an organ, but he had theory in his head. You know, he heard things. You know, so all his daughters, there was 5 daughters. And my Uncle Tony, which is the son, the only son, he had a baritone voice like this, you know. So whenever he heard chords, he said, "Come on, girls, come in here." And he'd gather them all together, and you sing this note, ah, and you say, ah, and then he'd have them singing all these harmonies. And he'd be writing it down, making a book, you know, until he could eventually afford to buy an organ. I think all the kids eventually said, "You know what, let's get this guy an organ. We all chip in, buy him a piano or something."
Right.
But that's what they did every day after school. They sang parts and harmonies. They were like the Julie Andrews sisters, you know. Wow. It was amazing. The sounds that came. Because now, again, I was a baby, you know. But when we got to family reunions, we hear them singing all these parts. We'd be like, "Oh my God, the talent in this family," you know. So, and my father and mother actually met each other. They used to do nightclubs. My father used to sing at a nightclub. He used to do a Frank Sinatra impersonation. And he met my mother, you know. In fact, he lived in an apartment building here in the Bronx, and she lived on the apartment building over here. And he was such a little pervert, I guess. He would sit there and flash his flashlight in my mother's window, you know, to get her attention. And they'd get out and they'd be singing songs across the bar. It was very romantic, you know.
That's
you got to think back in, like, you know, the 30s and stuff, you know.
Different world.
Yeah. So that was my musical influence, and so I grew up playing mostly predominantly jazz. A lot of jazz, a lot of fusion.
Who played drums? When you were with your brothers?
We had a local.
Yeah.
It was one of the guys.
So it was the three brothers and a drummer.
And a drummer, and I think they had a keyboard. Yeah, we had a keyboard player. So, and that's that was a 5-piece.
And you stuck pretty much with the drummer and the keyboard.
Yeah. So
that's a pretty good group.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I, you know, as I got older, I started to develop my own what I wanted to hear myself play and what influences that I was interested in.
And how old were you when you started playing bass?
I was 15. My first bass was
What brand was it?
I gotta believe this.
I gotta know. I always ask.
I gotta know. Okay. My first bass was a guitar body, full hollow body guitar body, probably some Hofner or some low line, and it was probably like a generic bass neck. And my brother shoved it together, put some strings on it. My bridge was made of wood. He carved some grooves in it, and that was my first bass. And I joined my first rock band after leaving my brothers. I kind of wanted to do my own thing and get kind of guys my age, you know. And we were doing local rock like the Doors and the Who and bands like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was my first bass. And believe it or not, I sold it for $150. Then I bought my first Fender. That was the Fender. That was a bass.
Beginning.
It was the beginning. The Fender.
Yeah, there you go. So. That's pretty neat. Now so who was your biggest influence in the music scene? Like your number one person that you liked?
The first guy I think that really impressed the hell out of me was John Entwistle.
Look at this. Thank you. One of actually my all-time favorite.
Yeah, just the first time I heard
man, that's cool.
My Generation, I was like, what the hell is that, man? Is that, my brother goes, that's the bass. I said, man.
The bottom, I mean, he was like.
I mean, he was the first guy.
The whole band, I mean, if you took him out of the band, it would sound awful.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, the guy had such amazing chops. He had this incredible tone. The next guy I thought really moved me was obviously Geddy Lee. That's where I started really learning my chops. And Chris Squire from Yes. Yeah. When I saw Chris Squire and his man, just his classical approach to the bass and how we made music, you know. And as I started getting to more of the fusion, the jazz, I started getting to Stanley Clarke and, you know, Marcus Miller and obviously Jaco Pastorius, you know. And I got my first fretless, made my first fretless design like Jaco Pastorius. And believe it or not, I still have it. It's the oldest bass I have. I had it since I was 16. And I bought a Carlo Rebelli bass, took all the frets out, wood filled them, and bonded the neck, and I made my own fretless, and it's till this day it's still sitting in my closet.
Fretless.
Yeah.
A lot of memory.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to do that.
Yeah, it was.
You got to know exactly where to.
Yeah. Well, I'll never forget. My mother says, "You look like you're really serious about this." So she came home with an upright bass, and we lived in the Bronx now, so there wasn't a whole lot of places you can play. So I used to take it out to the balcony. And I used to play the fretless on the balcony and with the bow and everything. And that's how I would learn, you know, when I was going to college, you know.
Right.
And my first audience was probably some hobo, you know, sitting in the alley going, "Yeah, you suck," you know, whatever, you know. So, I mean, that was my first audience, so.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
And then it took you up to, what, 70s, 80s?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it was really in the starting around the 80s. I started really finding myself, my own bands and stuff like that.
And you stayed in the area for quite a while.
Yeah. Then I moved to Cali.
From New York
to
Cali. Okay. We're going to take a short break. We're going to watch a Rock Candy video right now. Which one are we watching there, Mr. Engineer? The name of the video is I'm not really sure.
Well, we often get that question all the time.
Okay, I tell you what, audience, it's a surprise. Okay, because we have Miss Rock Candy in the house as in the audience tonight. We have Lisa Wagner in the house. Yeah, man.
And we got little JoJo.
And little JoJo in the house, and
my lovely wife.
And
my lovely wife Geraldine.
There you go.
Which goes by Jing, by the way.
They're here tonight, and it's an honor. It's an honor because this band is. You'll check them out anyways. Well, watch the video, and then that may be the beginning for you being a big Rock Candy fan. Watch the video. We'll be right back. We got more Joe, and we've got a Skype guest coming in for 10 minutes out of Virginia, Blair Sickley. And he's just going to give us a little information what he's doing up there on his project. Don't go away. Watch this video.
Your love is like a tidal wave spinning over my head, drowning me in your promises that are left unsaid. You're the right kind of sinner to release my inner fantasy. The effects of a winner, did you know that you were born to be? You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around with me. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around, no, no, no. Your love, it sets my soul on fire, spinning over my head, drowning me in your promises that are left unsaid. You're the right kind of sinner to release my inner fantasy. The effects of a winner, and you know that you were born to be. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around with me. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around, no, no, no. taker, don't you mess around with me. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around with me. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, don't you mess around with me. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker, love taker, heartbreaker.
We're back. We're back. We got a special guest.
This is my boy.
Tell him what.
This is my son, Jojo, little Joseph Thomas Mazza. He's a junior. And he wants to be an inspired he's an inspired drummer. He was totally blown away when he saw your drums. He was you know, I got out of the shower today to come here, and he was in his room playing his drums. And I told him
He's got a drum set.
Yeah. And
okay.
But he hasn't broken the skins yet, so there's potential. You know, he's got promise. But he was in there, and he was actually playing a beat. And you know Sam Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine.
Sam's a good drummer.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. And I was telling Sammy about him, you know, and Sammy was blown away. And you know, I've had the greatest opportunity to play with some fantastic drummers in my life. I really have. Mikey Shane, Jesse Moore. I mean, Sam Hill. I mean, it's some really great cats that I've actually had a blessing to play with, you know, and you know, so it's to have him play. It's just it's a joy to me.
It's a joy.
And I just can't wait when we get older. We can jam out together. It's just gonna be a blast, you know. So
It could be just a couple of years.
yeah, it won't take long.
That watch.
See your daddy's watch. My rock candy watch. Can you say hello to everybody?
Say hello to all the
Say
people.
hi. Can you say hello to everybody?
Say over here.
Say hi, mommy. Say hi, mommy. All right.
We got a drum solo coming up later. eh? Cool.
Awesome.
That's neat.
It's family, you know. Hey, I'm Italian, you know. Keep it in the house.
That's nothing wrong with Italians. I mean, we already know that right here.
We want to talk about wine and vino, right?
Hey, pizza, wine, vino, and music. Oh, no, we don't.
Oh.
That's okay. We're all right. I did have Chinese food last night.
Did you? Okay. That's what I smell.
Okay. We got to get back to the 80s.
Right.
Let's get to the 80s.
Okay.
I had a question for you, and I forgot already because now I got distracted.
Well, you know, just to take it back a little bit, before when I got out of high school, I met a Caribbean band in Brooklyn, and it was Steel Pan Band, you know, and they needed a bass player. So, and I think I was telling you a couple of weeks ago, I had a short little professional career. I was on a lot of rappers wanted me to play bass for them back in the 80s.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
And obviously, you'll probably find some of their CDs on in the dollar store. You know, they went nowhere. But they were like, man, we got to get this white dude, man. He's from the Bronx. You know, all the Jamaican guys were like we got to get this white dude. He's like incredible. He comes up with these really cool bass lines, you know. And I was doing that for like years, you know. And then I met some of these cats that were playing calypso, and man, I got a great experience to move to Trinidad and Tobago, and lived in Jamaica and Bermuda, and I got a chance to experience that culture, man. And I was doing stuff like syncopated stuff that I've never done before, and I'm taking some of these jazz influences, and I'm playing a little bit of this and some of this funk, and I got to tell you, man, it really broadened my spectrum, you know.
I bet it did.
Yeah, so
because it wasn't in your norm.
No, and I was playing a lot of, you know, different kind of rhythms and syncopations, and it was quite an experience, you know. I mean, back then my hair was down to here. I dreaded it.
Did you really let your hair grow?
Yeah, I let it.
How long did your hair grow?
My hair grew about.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It was all curly, so I mean, then I had
hair.
to braid it. Yeah,
Mine
so.
too. Yeah, but mine didn't grow down. Mine grew out. I had an afro out to here.
Yeah.
With white. I dyed the sides white.
Nice.
10 years.
Racist stripes.
10 years. I've got pictures. People have seen them on Facebook. They're going, no way.
Dude, I got to see that.
Yeah, I'm serious. Don't laugh.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see long hair.
Yeah.
And did you travel down there?
Yeah. I lived there, actually. And I played all the little circuit and everything.
Oh, man.
And then I said, you know, this is
That's
where
pretty
I'm
neat.
Yeah, it was kind of
That's
fun.
got to be different. And you came out of the city and you went down there?
Yeah. Well, a lot of these guys were all from Trinidad and Tobago, so we had places to stay, and it was all family. So I stayed with their families and just had a great time, you know. And Bermuda was is an amazing place, you know. There's one road, and everybody drives scooters, you know. There's no cars, like one car per family. But the nightlife and the party life is, and you get on stage and these people are just bumping, man. Everything's just, the crowd is just going, you know.
Yeah.
And then
that's so cool.
Yeah.
We don't always have that here in the United States. Sometimes it's a different scene here.
Yeah, I mean but again, I mean, when we talk about some of the bands that I came here, I'll explain how that kind of worked in when we get later down the road, how it worked, those flavors, those genres worked in some of the music influences. So.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I mean, you know, the difference between there and here, Europe.
Yeah.
100,000 people.
Yeah.
Those fests they have, Jack goes and plays, and he says he looks out there and he can't see the end of the people. That's how, you know,
it's amazing.
All the way around.
It's a good feeling. It's a good experience.
It's a different ball game than here.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good scene. We love it.
I like Brevard. I think Brevard, the music scene is it's family. People really work well together. There's not a whole lot of egos and stuff like that. Everybody just goes out there and plays, and there's a lot of support. A lot of benefits that we're doing. We got one coming up. We're doing a benefit for John Burr for his kidney transplant.
Right.
So, and anytime somebody says do a benefit, I'm like, you had me at Kenya. You know, I mean, to me, that is where it's all about. It's not about the little money that we make or whatever, the little fame that we get. You know, it's really about really supporting one another, helping one another, and just having experience, because music's a language that we all can communicate, you know. Right. It's a universal language, and it touches everybody. It reaches people, you know.
It does. Well said.
That's how I feel about music.
Very well said. Okay. All right, so you want to drop a few names just for me, anyways? I know I'm putting him on the spot here because he wasn't going to do this. He said, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to ask him just to drop a couple names. It's not all about that. Joe's not all about that.
I try to stay humble, man.
Yeah, well, you certainly are. You are.
I'm in the witness protection, relocation thing. This is killing me, man. I'm gonna have to move my family again.
We're in Melbourne, Australia tonight, not Melbourne, Florida. Okay, go ahead and drop a couple names. Just give them some people.
Well, I had a really good band I had in California. We were called Room 179. And we played at this big auditorium all the time. We were a house band, and we got so popular that there was a lot of major local acts. I mean, it was sort of like the King Center kind of thing. So we were always warm up bands for like a lot of the bands that came in.
Right.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I mean, I got a chance to meet a lot of these cats, and other big names as well. But I got an opportunity to play with Gary Rathman from REO Speedwagon and his project, and it was more or less REO Speedwagon.
Right.
So I got a chance to play with him, and that was interesting. He's an interesting guy, man.
Ooh, yes.
But he's a big teddy bear, you know. But big, I say, he got really large. But sorry, Gary.
It's okay.
And then I had a. And I hate to drop that, but I got a chance to play with Pat Benatar for a little while. So it was just, so whenever we do Pat Benatar in a band, it was easy. It was like plug and play for me. I got a chance to be a roadie for Sheryl Crow and Mick Fluid. So a great experience to hang out with them and be part of that world. So
and that's when you went out.
That's when I was in California, and that's really, believe it or not, that's when I got into alternative rock. I started really bringing a lot of the rock flavors, which it was kind of uncharted territory for me, you know, because here I'm coming from all these universal Caribbean world beat type stuff, and then all of a sudden I'm playing Soundgarden, you know, like whoa, what's a 5-string, you know? So I had to play a 5-string, you know. So but it was like this evolving thing for me, you know. My life has been one, you know, perpetual journey, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
You know, it was great. It's all these
music
cultures,
journey,
yeah.
but it's also a journey of the word is a simple word, the journey of your life.
Yeah, it's a journey of my life.
You start off with an instrument and it takes you unbelievable places.
It's a book, man, of my life.
It's crazy.
So
and it's a lot of fun. I mean, when you get my age, and you got the wheelchair staring in front of you, you know, not too far ahead.
Yeah.
And
when you're limping on stage, but you know, I'll play. I honestly, I will play till they take it away from me. Right. Until, you know, I'm senile in some old folks' home.
My stepdad, or Maggie's stepdad, still plays in the Melbourne Municipal Band and Orchestra and the Swing Time Band. He's 82.
Yeah, you can't stop me.
And he plays great.
Yeah.
And he still amazes me. You know? So I said, well, I still got some time left.
Yeah, you see, you got a lot to look forward to.
And when I get behind the drums, and if I'm playing somewhere, you find that extra energy that when you got there you didn't have, and then when you get behind the drums and you get started, it's like, where did I get all this?
You know, every time I go for a leave for a show, I always tell him, and this is when Joseph was a little baby. Mm-hmm. I said, Daddy's going to go to work, and Daddy's going to make people happy, and I'm going to bring joy to people. And okay, he looked at me like, yeah, whatever, you know. But then as time got older, he started seeing me leave, you know, and every show, I come home. My wife always wants me to take my shoes off. I got that down. But I always go into my son's room, I kiss him, and I tell him, and I lay down with him for a few minutes. So I get back to reality, Will. Back to the things that are really important to me, my family. You know what I'm saying? The music, the performance that I put out there, I put a lot of performance out there. Man, you see me when I'm on stage.
I know it.
Man, if the stage is any bigger.
Every picture I took of you was a blur, okay? I'm saying, Joe, stand still a minute. Let me get just when I think I got you, you move.
I mean, if the stage was any bigger, you know. I mean, we played at one show. We were like so conformed. And Lisa's like, are you gonna? I said, I'm gonna do the best I can, and I'm over there like doing. I can't help it, man. I got a problem, you know. But that's what happens in my soul, man. I feel that groove, you know, and I feel that beat, and I feel that you know, that fire, man. You know, and you can't put me down, man.
Stick you in a cubbyhole somewhere.
I'll find a way out, man.
That's funny.
But,
we got to take another break. What the heck?
What kind of show you running?
You know, I don't know about this engineer.
Who's in charge over here?
I don't know what kind of time he's on, but it's like all right. Well, I'm not taking a break. Just put me to Skype, and Joe can take a break if he wants, and I'll sit here and talk to Blair, or you can. Better yet,
I'd like to sit in with you and Blair.
Oh, you can.
If that's okay.
We can do that after the Skype. Put Blair on. I made him already wait 5 minutes, and we've already made him wait 5 weeks.
This would be cool. It'd be like I'm on Letterman or something.
I don't do. Yeah, I think the last time I did a Skype was like, I don't know, 2 months ago or something. I'm not much of a Skype person, but
my wife does it every day. So
it's really cool.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I've seen good Skypes and I've seen some bad Skypes. Even on NBC, I've seen some bad Skypes.
Right. Sure. That doesn't surprise me. The taping is at the zoo, Brevard Zoo. We're really not in Australia.
All right. We're trying, so go to the video.
What are we gonna do? Oh, we're gonna feature Mr. Eric Houghton on lead guitar and do some lead vocals. Laughing up, laughing down, take my word, laughing round. I ain't asking for much. As the Lord took me downtown, I'm just looking for some dust. I've been bad, I've been good. Dallas, Texas, Hollywood. I ain't asking for much. As the Lord took me downtown, I'm just looking for some dust. Myself, not alone. I ain't asking for much. As the Lord took me downtown, I'm just looking for some touch. Yeah. All right, we're black. We're black. We're back.
Back.
I got black on. We're back inside the Soundwave.
black.
Shirt's black.
That's what you wanted to say.
Black pants.
Black and black.
Black and red. And pink. There he is. There's Blair. Hey, Blair, say your last name for me, Blair.
Sickly.
Okay, Sickly. Right?
Yes.
Okay,
You got it.
I'm always, I don't know. I'm fine with the name. Sometimes I just say, am I saying it right? It is. Are you there? Uh-oh, did we lose the Skype?
I think we did. He's there, but we're having problems with this connection.
Oh, man. That's why I don't like Skype. You know, but Skype, honestly, is better at 2 o'clock in the afternoon than it is at 7 p.m. at night.
Probably
Because of the sun going down. And the waves, I don't know what it is. I'm not kidding.
It's something about Florida, man. I'll tell you.
It's the millions of people getting on it at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. And at 2 o'clock, it's not as bad. Well, we like Skyping at 2 in the afternoon, too, because the thunderstorms roll in, and then you can see the electricity going through the...
There he is.
But anyway, is he back?
Yeah, he's back. Well, he's trying
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, you are.
I'm here.
All right, man.
We're getting a frozen screen now.
Yeah, we're having a problem with this connection. Must be raining there.
I think he mentioned something about the weather. He's a little under the weather.
The weather weather up there is good and bad. He says it's nice and... All right, let's get on with the show.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now, Rock Candy.
Rock Candy, yes. Let's talk about Rock
An
Candy.
incredible band. Incredible band.
Incredible
If you
friends.
viewers out there have not seen or heard Rock Candy,
Joe, can you move your mic to the...
you have got to watch. I'm sure they've got some videos on.
Yeah, that's better.
We have quite a few videos on our Facebook page. Yeah, absolutely.
Facebook. Do you have Reverb yet?
Reverb?
Reverb Nation?
No.
Not
no.
yet.
We'll get that, though.
We'll get you started up on that. Yeah, definitely. Oh, gotta have that.
Hey, your Skype's back. He
Okay.
tried to call you. Want to try him again?
Let's try them one more
We're going to
time.
try it one more time.
If I see it freeze up, though, Keen, cut it off, okay?
Okay, say hi. Oh, where'd he go? All right, never mind.
It's a fascinating
All right.
video, by the way.
Yeah, you've got to see and hear Rock Candy. You can see them on Facebook, Rock Candy, right? Just Rock Candy. I don't think you'll find any other band called Rock Candy around. And it's they're phenomenal. You've got to see them. The performance is great, the sound is great, and the band gels and the personality is excellent. Yeah, so you have to check out Rock Candy. And this is the basis for Rock Candy, which is Joe Mazza. And telling the other band members.
Oh, I would be more than happy to.
I'll let you go ahead and do that.
I have a family of great musicians, and I can never. There's not enough admiration I have for them. It's Lisa Wagner as the lead singer.
Awesome.
Formerly from Sold Out. We have Eric Houghton, formerly from Open Fire.
Yeah, Open Fire.
Phenomenal band. And I was from Switch. And Jesse Moore from, he was actually a studio cat for a while, and he played with a couple other bands.
Mm-hmm.
But he's actually the son of Curtis Moore, a famous bass player around here. So we are really blessed to have, I am so blessed to have such an experience with them. The thing about Rock Candy, what makes it special, is that we take songs and we do unusual interpretations of them. We'll take stuff from Lady Gaga. We'll rock it, trick it out. What Eric says, we'll put hair on it. We trick out the songs so that one, nobody can really copy them.
Right.
Two, they're ours. We make them our own, and we kind of blend these worlds together. We have Eric comes from a very heavier sound.
Right.
We have me from a more of a groove sound. Lisa more of a soul sound and country sound, and Jesse kind of like a studio cat, which he's able to bring all those flavors together. So that's what makes Rock Candy unique.
Right.
You know.
That's. I know Eric. really played some metal stuff.
Yeah, he was very much into the
I'm
80s
trying
hair
to
band.
think who was here the other day. Well, somebody was here the other day anyway. Darren Fox.
Darren Fox.
You know
Okay,
Darren.
yeah, oh yeah, we know Darren very well.
And he knows Eric
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
And they did play, back then they played some pretty heavy music.
Yeah.
And it's quite a change for Eric.
Yeah, and we always talk about it, the transformation and so forth. And, he said, he goes, I'm playing things that I never got a chance to play.
Right.
I'm exploring my guitar a little more. I'm exploring chords, different ways of making things work.
Right.
And he goes, I'm writing stuff that's written. So I'm rewriting songs. And he goes, it's really challenged me to be to take those keyboard parts and those other things that I've never had a chance to do and really be creative with it.
Wow.
And the same thing with the rhythm section. We try to do something different where it's not quite the rhythm, but it's got the edge, but it's not. We just kind of adding certain flavors to the songs and obviously.
And you're doing that.
Yeah, we're doing it.
And doing it, and you're doing it with energy and electricity.
A lot of energy, man. There's a lot of that's what it rock.
Because you've seen it where you play that people will be mingling and talking and doing their thing, and when you guys start to play, the heads turn.
Yeah, we played at Siggy's just recently, and we ran into Chris Long, and Chris Long goes, "Well, my expectation of you guys was here, but after hearing you, goes, my expectations are up here." He goes, "Yeah, I have no doubt this is going to be one of the most super groups."
And who's that?
This was Chris Long,
Christopher Long.
Yeah.
I know.
So I mean, coming from somebody like that, it's like it's a God bless, God sent. So, finding these members was really difficult, and I think we talked about it at Lisa's interview. I'm actually the founder of the band, but I was talking to Eric long time ago. Even we were always in different bands, and we never could meet up. And I had the fortunate opportunity to run into Eric's mom at our Siggy show. And I tell you, man, I've never met a lady that's so classy. Eric's mom is a phenomenal, classy lady, and she's there, and she goes, I just love Lisa's voice. I mean, she goes, I can hear everything she's saying, and she goes, come up to Joey. You were my son. You guys are the same height, and you guys look so cool on stage. You guys compliment each other, and me and Eric were like, wow. I mean, we got some feedback on how well we play together. Eric and I just play really well together. Yeah, the
first time you came here on one of our shows about a month ago or
about
whatever.
A month ago,
it was like electricity.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard a lot of music in my day, and a lot of bands around here because I try to scoot around and check places out. But I haven't heard that. I hadn't seen that makeup of people that such as Rock Candy and the sound.
And I got to talk about the names a little bit because it's probably interesting how we got the name.
Yeah.
we were originally going to be called the Leftovers because the truth.
I'm kind of glad you didn't go that way. I mean, it's cool.
The reason being,
cool.
Well, I always say this in the band. We were all kind of in a lost and found box. We all didn't. Everybody was just like, we don't know. But all the bands broke up, and nobody was like. So I knew that there was way too much talent in this town, Yeah. And I wanted to do something with Eric. And I wanted to do something, and then all of a sudden Lisa came across my path again. We were reunited again, and I knew that was going to be my singer. But I always knew when Lisa and I were working with another band that we would be together once. She had said to me, she goes, we'll be working with each other again. I was like, that's cool, and then 2 years later, here we are,
Wow.
And obviously our drummer, but he was my neighbor, and that just turned out to be
you had a drummer right close by.
Yeah. And just the chemistry. I mean,
and who did Lisa play with before?
Lisa played with Sold Out.
I remember
She's been Sold Out.
Yeah.
And I played a little bit with them, and then I moved on to Switch,
Mm-hmm. And you're all Melbourne. Everybody's from pretty much Melbourne.
Everybody's from Melbourne. Yeah.
Palm Bay, West.
Yeah,
Melbourne.
we're all from West Melbourne. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a very cool vibe.
It's so good to see a band come up. I mean, Brevard has got some incredible musicians in this county and area, but to see a band come out and not just come out and kind of get into the scene, but to come out and like a rocket.
Yeah. I mean,
No, that's my analogy of the band.
Yeah.
It's not coming just out and getting into the scene, the music scene. It's like Cape
Yeah.
Canaveral.
We got
the
catapulted.
shuttle. You guys did rock had taken off.
We catapulted so fast.
It's incredible. People have got to hear you to understand that.
Yeah. We got catapulted so fast. I don't even think we had enough songs, and we were actually throwing some songs that we actually did once before, and even though that's probably not going to, that's not going to be our set list, but we were like, you got to play here, you got to play, and we were getting gigs, and we had club owners calling us. We haven't even called one club yet, and we've been booked so much, and it's almost it's scary at first because we feel like we're unprepared. But at the same time, we're all pros.
Well, that's got to give you motivation.
Yeah, it makes you feel.
You've
good,
already got the energy and the
it's,
connection, all of you together.
Yeah.
So now you just have to go ahead.
We just got to make it blend,
Yeah,
and the whole outfits. I mean, this was all Lisa's idea. I mean, we had nothing.
I believe that.
It was Lisa and Jesse, the drummer. Jesse is a very creative. He's an artist. He's got a lot of art, and he brought a lot of this culture. And Lisa brought a lot of this culture to the band. And Eric and I were like, what? We just want to jam, let's do it, And she's like, well, we got to make it, it's got to be like Rock Candy, And it's like, and I mean, that was the name, it was like, yeah, Rock Candy. She goes, we got this hardcore band, this sound that's like, thumping. And you got this candy girl, that puts that sweetness on the music. So it's kind of like this incredible blend of just like as if you were having candy. It's like you're getting all these flavors in your mouth. It's like a lot of flavors.
And get some flavors like I don't know if Lisa likes Lucille Ball. Do you like Lucille Ball? Do you like Lucille
Who
Ball?
doesn't like Lucille Ball?
In the past 5 days, I have talked to people about Rock Candy, and they've come back with that. Man, she reminds me of Lucille Ball. She's incredible.
Yeah.
And I'm going, and I heard it once, and then the next day I heard from somebody else the same. I'm going, man, there's a connection there.
And it's amazing. Our stage performances, they're not rehearsed. I mean, we don't sit there and rehearse. We don't say, okay, we're going to be doing it. It is so natural to play with Lisa and to play with Eric. It is so natural to play with Jesse. I mean, I always know what Jesse's going to do. Jesse listens. He's one of those drummers that listens to the rhythm section. He's steady. He knows what's going to happen in the songs. He actually pretty much is the orchestration of the band. He almost does something on the drum that will trigger us to know where we're going in the next section.
And as a drummer, he's got a drum set that fits the group perfectly, too.
Absolutely.
He's not like a nut like me. Serious.
He's not a little flamboyant, no?
Yeah, a little crazy, cymbal. That is awesome. That is incredible because what he plays with, what he has, he does so good.
He utilizes it well.
And he plays just what you need.
Yeah.
And beyond, but with what he's got, and he's got good stuff.
He does.
But I'm impressed.
He
With
plays.
a young fella, 26?
Man, I tell you something. I
26.
I've
That's
always
amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing, and I tell you why I love him so much. He's 26 years old. He could play with anybody. He can play with anybody, man. He's that freaking good.
Yep.
But he wants to play with us. I don't know why. He hasn't really disclosed that, but obviously he loves us. He loves playing with us because I guess we're talented. But he's humble. I mean, we give him a lot of hell because he's the youngest guy in the band. And we're always like daddy and mommy to him. But we're also like his family, his brothers. He can come over to my house and we can kick it and just be like just real friends. And he's so passionate about this band. And his father's very proud of him, and I'm proud of him. And I'm just happy to have a young drummer, behind me. And he makes me feel young again when I get behind my bass.
Right.
He gives me a lot of life in my playing, man. I play hard with him,
Right. Yeah, but you are an active bass player.
Yeah.
So as a drummer, I know that an active bass player makes a drummer work a little harder, but makes the drummer
think.
Better.
Yeah.
Think.
He thinks.
Right.
He has to think when he's working with me, because he knows that at any given moment I could do something that's just insane.
Right.
And he's
got to keep up with you.
Yeah, but he's intelligent, and that's what I love about him. He's perceptive. He knows when it's going to happen. And being that we've only been together for 4.5 months, that is an attribute, I think, for a band.
Tell them again. How long have you been together?
We've been together 4.5 months. I mean, seriously. and that's the scare of me because
that's talent.
Yeah.
That's all the talent in the group.
Well, thank you.
That's
Yeah.
definitely, and the personalities.
Yeah.
That make that.
And
goes,
then you got Eric, who's just multi-talented. He's intelligent.
I mean, you got Lisa up there with the expressions and the beautiful voice,
the beautiful face, the beautiful voice,
and the expressions. And we got you over on the side, going all over the place, moving around everywhere. And then I'm watching the drummer, and he is not only beating the drums perfectly, but he's also performing. Also,
Yeah.
He's not just sitting there with faceless.
Yeah.
And then you got the mainstay. You got Eric standing over there, just like
He's the maestro.
He's the maestro, yeah.
he's standing there like he's doing the.
Maestro.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
We're very
Amazing.
excited. Yeah. I mean, the rock
I'm
candy
excited about the band. You know,
I'm blown
I'm
away.
excited.
I mean, and Eric and I, we took care of a lot of the other stuff in the band, and Lisa and Jesse. I mean, they really took care of the marketing, you know. And when I go on Facebook, I never know what's going to happen. I never know what picture's going to be up there, you know. I never know what Lisa's bringing into the band, and you know what? I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the excitement of it, man. I don't want to know.
Right.
Just throw it up there because that's the trust that we have in each other. Our rehearsals are a blast. My wife makes dinner for everybody on Friday nights. We sit down, we have dinner before we even play our instruments, and she makes some crazy meal like it be from the Philippines, an Asian Italian meal, whatever. She goes on the internet, she makes these crazy meals, and we sit and eat like a family, and then we play, and we communicate, and it's like there are a lot of bands that fight. There's always internal strife. I started to realize that it's not just about the music. It's about the connection that you make within the band, and the rest. What you see on stage is exactly what's happening in our heads, in our hearts during rehearsal. There's nothing fake that's coming out of off the stage. Nothing. And I mean, that is the energy that you're seeing. You're seeing a pure, unadulterated energy of people that really freaking like to play together, and it shows.
And it shows. It does show.
You know.
It does show.
And again, we have a lot of admiration for a lot of the other bands, you know.
Oh, they're all great. No, all the bands, everybody got their flavor.
Yeah, I mean, we
You
love
know,
them. Yeah.
and,
John Wilson, and we just love the guys from Fun Pipe.
Yeah, oh, they were here on stage.
John Wilson's my boy,
and
man.
of course, that's the night that, what's his name, played drums?
Sam Hill.
Sam
Hill.
Sammy came.
One of my old neighbors.
Great guy. I mean, I loved Sammy.
Yeah.
Brought his drum set in.
Yeah.
And they did, and what a show. Whew, good grief. And very good. You can go, that's another, yeah, you're right. There's another band there that's got, when I walk in,
Yeah.
I'm going to be there for a little while.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to walk in and I'm going to go 10 minutes.
Because you never know what you're going to
I'm
get.
going to go out. I mean, I'm not putting bands down.
No.
I'm talking about, I like the bands that's got that life in them, and you can feel it in the music, hear it, and then with Rock Candy, not only do you hear it and feel it, you see it. You know, so now you've got the combination.
It's colorful.
And now you say, okay, now I'm going to enjoy this because you've got the mix.
Well, what's
You've got the
interesting
right-
is that
right mix.
we'll come up on stage and we'll be looking like, our Rock Candy thing, and people, and if you never met us, you'd be like, oh my God, this is going to be a big nightmare. And then you start hearing our chops, and you sit.
Yeah.
And you're either going to sit and get schooled, or you're going to sit and love the band. Either you're going to love it or hate us. There's no in between.
There's
I mean,
not
for
much
to
hate going on.
You know what I mean?
No, not much hate at all.
There's the people that are gravitating.
You're
to
winning
us,
them over 99%, I'd say.
So we're having fun. I mean, for Bullet Theory and for Fun Pipe to put us on the bill for the Bavard Music Aid was, I got to tell you.
Bullet Theory's good.
Yeah, I mean, here are my two good friends too. Number one, but they had asked Rock Candy to be part of that, and that's a huge honor, man. To help a cause for local musicians, and it's such a great thing. But for them, they could have picked any band. Why pick a band that's 4 months old?
Because they probably heard about the band.
Yeah,
I mean, they've heard about the good things about the band.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard good things about Fun Pipe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not putting Bullet Theory down at all, too. They're great. A lot of good things. But,
Absolutely.
I mean, I heard about Fun Pipe from Fun Pipe, and I kept hearing about them. And finally, I got them to come on the show.
Yeah.
Bender.
Yeah, Bender.
Yeah.
There's a voice.
And then I'm going, well, no wonder they won an award
Absolutely.
from Bavard Music Live. Brevard Live.
Yeah. You know, I was up against Bass Player of the Year last year with John Wilson, and he won. And you know, and the cool thing is that I was happy for him, and he was, you know, I mean, he said, you know, it could have went anyway. It could have went anyway, but I was happy for him because that's my friend. Yeah. You know, and whatever.
Your turn's coming.
You know, I don't even need all that stuff. You know,
Your turn's coming.
And he actually called me, like, I think a couple days before that. He goes, you know, I said, dude, man, I play from in here, man. You know, I mean, I've already won in my heart. You know,
but
you know,
you'll get the recognition too. You'll get that spot. That's
cool.
Lisa will be getting that spot too.
It'd be cool.
You know, the whole band. It's incredible. I'm amazed. What can I say? I know. Tomorrow night I'm bringing a couple of the guys that the band I play in. We're going to come over there, and they haven't heard you yet. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to having them hear you tomorrow night. Yeah. It's
you know, the other interesting thing is, Will, any one of us could have been in any other band. Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, Eric, me, you know, Jesse, Lisa, phone calls, crazy. You know, I mean, let's join this band. But I had a vision. You know, I had a vision of what a band should sound like, you know, that was a little different than what I was hearing on the norm. And don't get me wrong, I love all these bands. Right. But what would make us sound different? What would be different? Yeah. You know, what would, you know, could I join a band? Yeah, I could be playing tomorrow. Right. I could have been playing right out of the gate. Lisa, everybody in the band could have been just jamming with another band. But then we would just be jamming with another band. Yeah. We would never pave new ground. And I'm like Christopher Columbus, man. I want to find new land.
And you're paving it.
You know, and I wanted to find new land. And I knew that the people in this band, that honestly, Will, they were handpicked. Because I don't think we could have paved that ground if it wasn't for the people in this band. Because they had the same vision, man. They could all have been in another band and just be like, yeah, okay, I collect my, you know, whatever money I make it tonight, and just do it next week and next week. We look forward to our next gig because we know that the next gig is going to be exciting. Something else is going to happen. We do what they call mashups. We take these songs and we mash them together. We're the first band in Brevard County that are really doing mashups. Nobody's doing mashups. Nobody's putting rock songs with dance songs and crushing them together and having them work. Nobody's doing that. They're probably going to be doing it. You know, they'll probably get caught and hooked on it because it's exciting. You know, it is. How could you not? Yeah. But we're going to be the first cats doing it, dude. You know, and it's like that to me is exciting. That's the groundbreaking.
Lisa, you don't want to come up and say hi?
Come on, Lisa, come up and say hi. Come on.
I got a couple more minutes left because he's chewing in my ear, and before we run out of time, because Keen tries. He always drives me crazy with that.
Hello, everybody.
You guys remember
Lisa Wagner.
Hi, y'all.
Yeah.
I need this?
Well, yeah, go ahead and say hi to them.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Lisa's part of the main part of the deal, too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we wouldn't be nothing without her. I mean, she's our front woman. She's our front lady.
I love this part of the show.
To this band, you know. I mean, yeah, we're all talented, but she brings this. She it's funny, as Eric said this, he goes, we like having a woman in a band. It keeps us together. And she's I'm not going to say she's our mother, but she's certainly there to let us know that I'm here, I'm a lady, and there's a lady present. Yeah. And we're going to kick some ass, you know, and we're going to rock on.
And you are.
And that's what we're doing, you know.
Kicking.
Yeah, we're definitely having a good time, and we are blessed to be in Brevard County. We've had a great reception. I don't think we could have asked for anything better. I mean, the fans have been great. The clubs have been great. The venues have been great. ISW has been wonderful to Rock Candy and helping us in our skyrocket out of the gate. We appreciate you guys' support. So thank you so much, and we're just having a great time. Yeah. We're having a great time.
We actually got a phone call for a festival, because they saw the ISW videos of us, and that's what got us these, you know, certain gigs and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, again, we owe a lot to you guys.
Let's make more out of that, too.
Yeah.
We'll get a lot more out of that. I'm pushing the band.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Push the band.
Come see us. We'll be at Lou's Blues Friday night.
Yeah, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Lou's Blues right here on the beach, just a little ways down the road on the beautiful Indian Beach. Oh, that's Indian Harbor Beach, but that's okay.
So pretty.
But I like to see Rock Candy not only blow up Brevard County with their music, and I want to see them get out of Brevard County. See, that's my goal with a lot of bands, because everybody gets content with around here, which is great. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've got great places here to play, but I'd like to see one just go whoop, right out of Brevard, and Nashville and LA, New York, Europe. That's my goal. That's my goal. Okay, I know everybody's got a goal. I'm not worried about the band I'm playing with or anything like that. I like to see a band like Rock Candy, and of course other bands like Luna Pearl and any other
Absolutely, Fun
ones.
Pipe.
Fun Pipe? Oh yeah. But I have a special connection with Rock Candy. So this is one band I would like to see move out of Brevard County. Stay with us, stay here, but get themselves and their talent and their music worldwide. So be looking for Rock Candy. You could check them out on Facebook. You could check them out on iswtvstudio.com. And they'll be around a while.
We'll be around for a long time.
Yeah, we will.
This is a band that's going to be around for a very long time.
And we're going to have some more of the members on some of the shows. I'd like to get Eric on Steve's show.
Look at that.
Good luck.
Because
The shy guy.
Mysterious.
because Steve's a guitarist,
Yes.
and Eric's a great guitarist. So that would,
Awesome.
or maybe even on Jack Starr's show. Yeah, Sunday's show. And Jesse, I'll take care of because I'm a drummer. We'll get Jesse. Anyways, it's time for us to go, and we want to thank you for watching the show tonight. A great show with Joe Mazza.
My special guy, my son.
And this
Little Joseph.
Little
Jojo.
Jojo.
This is the future of rock right here.
This is a future drummer. Look out, Brevard. This will be Brevard's best drummer.
Maybe we'll get him on the stage here and let him play some drums, and we'll tape it. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Show number 39. Joe Mazza, Lisa Wagner, and
Jojo.
Jojo. God bless.
Adios.
See you next Thursday, 7 p.m. And there's another show coming up on Wednesday you won't want to miss.